Joining me, Michael Costa, former New South Wales Labor Treasurer, and David Gazzard, former Senior Advisor to Liberal Treasurer at Peter Costello, but now Head of DPG Advisory Solutions. Gentlemen, I asked you to come on to talk about the New South Wales elections. We'll get onto that, but this floored me, and I thought, Michael, you as a former Treasurer, I've got to ask you, does this show that the Albanese government made a rush decision on raising the tax on big super accounts without properly figuring out how it would work and who it would hit?
I think the evidence is absolutely clear that they've got no idea on this particular issue, and the issue that was raised in your clip there is the key issue, that is unrealised capital gains. I think it's going to impact, in fact, to link it to the New South Wales election, I think it will impact in the New South Wales election because the confusion on assets that really everybody in one form or other holds, either through super or personally through their own homes, becomes an issue of concern. If you can't explain how you're going to deal with unrealised capital gains, and I would have thought there was a simple solution to say that you only pay the tax when the asset gains, the asset is actually realised in terms of its profit or return, and that's the end of the question. I think people would probably relax a lot more, but it raises the spectre of every other asset that an individual holds. This is in an incredible position for the federal Labor government to find itself in, where it hasn't got an answer, particularly at a time in New South Wales where, your average home is well over $1 million, and many of the homes in the electorates that Labor's trying to win are well over $3 million, and that is not wealthy people we're talking about. We're just talking about assets going up. Now, I know they're not talking about applying to the family home, but it's very easy to run a campaign, which I'm sure that the coalition is doing in New South Wales, saying if they can't answer these questions, how do you know your primary residence is safe from unrealised capital gains? It's a crazy policy.
Yeah, but David Gazzard, obviously you've seen Labor, saying relax, forget it, laughing at any objections like these. You're just sticking up for millionaires, because they know that there was a poll that showed even most Liberal voters thought, this super change on balances of over $3 million doesn't apply to me. I'm for it. Is that the way you think it's going to play out long term?
Well, they'll try to keep it on that level. That's a very simplistic level. You get a head nod from most people saying, well, you're only taxing someone with a balance of over $3 million. And when the average balance is far, far lower than that, people go, well, it doesn't affect me. That's fine. I'll support it. The problem is it's the detail. And Michael's just laid out a very cogent case as to why this thing probably wasn't really well thought out. This is the second day of Parliament that they've been trawling through this. And yesterday's footage was just as interesting, where the Assistant Treasurer was talking about, well, you can mitigate the losses by having a diversified portfolio, which to me looked like he was saying, well, if you have losses in other assets, it sort of balances out the gain, which, sort of cuts against the need of investing in the first place. You don't invest in various assets to have some go down to balance the gains you make in others.